I hope you don't mind that I might smoke a cigarette or two during the call.
You're perfectly fine.
Awesome.
All right. Up into the chat, and then I'll do my usual intro.
Awesome.
Alright, we got one person, so that's a good start. Oh, we got another one. Alright. Hello everyone, welcome to another week and another episode of Ask the Chaos Protector Season 4, Episode 10. I know the episodes are out of order, but it doesn't matter. But today, my special guest is the co-founder and creative director for GodsTV, Jose Ma. I don't know if I said that right, but you get the idea.
You killed it.
Anyways, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I mean, what do you want to know?
Alright, so one thing, like, even after seeing, like, first seeing the, I guess the promo for the auditions, and then trying out the game myself in the demo, what inspired the game itself? Just, like, seeing how much, like, seeing some of it in the demo just makes you wonder how far, like, in depth into the story this game will have.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good segue to tell you who I am. So I'm Jose Marroch. I'm the creative director, one of the founders at Metal Studio, and I worked in the entertainment industry for a long time. So I actually worked in Hollywood for around 8 years, and I've been around, like, not only like celebrities and some of the shit that we talk in the game, but also in video game development and like narrative development of like games like Fallout 4, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and a lot of what GodsTV is about comes from first at Melbot. We started 7 years ago, almost 8, making games for kids, and I had to pitch. Hiding my numerous tattoos multiple times because I was talking to people, about making kids games, and pitching for My Little Pony, which is a game that we made. We made that My Little Pony game that came out really good. I'm really proud of it. I love it. But it's also like not my like regular theme pool. You want?
Yeah.
So when we were like looking for we almost shut down the company at some point because of financial problems, I was like, look, if we get to make another game, let's make something that I don't have to hide, that where we can be just ourselves and like laugh at the things that are funny to us, make fun of the things that are real to us, and that's kind of how GodsTV came about. And one of the things that we liked early on is that Twitch was becoming really big, and like obviously content creators and content creation itself was really interesting. So like we wanted to dive into those themes in a way that was funny and that made sense. What's going on? Hello?
Oh, I'm still here.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I heard lady's voice.
Yeah, that was my answer. Don't worry.
No worries. So when we were like looking at games, we're like, okay, let's make something that we'll play, basically. So that's kind of like how the idea of like first like having a TV show, since like every content creator is a TV host of their own show, right? Like both on Steam or YouTube. So we really like that idea, and we were like, okay, why don't we make a game where you're playing somebody trying to be famous, that is constantly on TV, constantly in front of the cameras, but in a way that felt real to humans, not just like the idea of a TV show, but like having the whole like back scenes, behind the scenes stuff where you have to like make questionable decisions and also like pretend to be really tough in front of the camera. So that's kind of how it came about, like the idea of like making a TV show that felt that was like commenting on real world issues,
Right.
not like super social commentary, but like talking about like adult themes in a way that most games don't. Like fame, money, the fact that you're not helping anyone, you're a genocidal, like money hungry bitch most of the
Right.
time. Pretend to be helping people. So in our game, you don't pretend. You just
Pretty much
like
be
dive into.
yourself in the game.
Yeah, yeah, you just dive into that idea. So that's kind of like how like we started, and then like the idea of like, okay, um so in this world, like anything has to be possible. So we started like just brainstorming how to make it as crazy as possible, and that's how kind of we came about. We're like, okay, we're gonna have a pizza wizard, and then we're gonna have a totalitarian robot, and there's like a couple more characters that we never fully finished, that were also pretty crazy. Hopefully at some point we can bring them to the game.
Yeah.
And 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 the yeah, and the whole idea was like, okay, let's make something that feels like the games that we wanted to play or that we played when we were like kids, because the games are safer now.
Mhm.
Um and and then like when I started writing, that's when I, and like coming back to my background, it's like that's when I was like, okay, like I had an agent. I had an agent in Hollywood, and I thought I was gonna be this big shot in Hollywood because I had an agent. But the truth is, like, I worked for him, and the truth was like I was having meetings with celebrities and whatever, but like I was just selling my soul to them, not really like I was not one of them. So that whole idea, I wanted to write into the game in a way where like we could tell the story of like, okay, you come here with all these like illusions of grandeur, and then like we drop you with a lot of humor based on like how how like kind of you're a slave of fame and a slave of the TV show, and that's how GodsTV came about.
Nice. Here's one thing that really surprised me, especially like I can understand Steam and like the the PlayStation system and the Xbox, but how crazy and as well as happy and excited to actually be able to actually have the game on a system like the Nintendo Switch 2, especially the
Uh,
Switch 2.
yeah, I mean we're very excited. It's really hard to get a dev kit on the Switch 2, so like that's one of the things that we're like pursuing actively right now.
Hmm.
Um, it's a very exciting system. Right now, the whole like Steam Deck, Switch, like those are my favorite ways to play right now,
Yeah.
because I'm constantly like or very tired. I just want to like lay down sometimes in bed, but it's also
I
like
know.
traveling or whatever. Yeah, uh, I think it's a really cool way to play, especially top down games. I think it feels really natural to it. I wouldn't play Elden Ring on the Steam Deck or the Switch,
Hmm.
but I definitely think that like games like Hades or like any Nuclear Throne or like these action games that are like twin stick, like feel really natural to the Switch and the Steam Deck. So yeah, we're excited, especially because the Switch 2 seems to like be really cool.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, somebody brings up an interesting question. They ask, which music in the game is your favorite?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, I love the. But you mean GodsTV in
Yeah,
the demo?
like
Yeah.
in the demo
So
and in general for the game.
for the game, I mean, the thing is, we have a really incredible team. So this is going to be a long answer, but
Go right ahead.
the
Go right ahead.
the the character designer Anna Katish, she's incredible. Like she's become a friend, and like I'm so enamored by her work. And early on, we had a lot of conversations, and as we were talking about like the tone of the game and like how we wanted to feel, like we used a lot of placeholders from a friend of hers called
Mm-hmm.
Sasha, who is also known as DZA or Nana the Shrimp, or like he has a few like
Different
other
names.
nicknames.
Alright.
Yeah, and we had a lot of placeholders, and then we realized that they were really good friends. And then we were like, oh, could you introduce us? And at the time we were talking to other musicians and like people who we really respect and who really like, but we kept going to his placeholders because his music is so fun and so upbeat, has a little bit of darkness, but it's always playful.
Right.
So we went to, yeah, we had a meeting. He lives in Tokyo, so like meetings are tough for the time zone, and he happens to work at a synthesizer like company, and like it's just like everything about him was just so cool. So we started playing with him. So like a lot of the music is like it's a combination of like music that he already put out, sometimes like 15 years ago, that feels so modern even today, combined with things that he's doing for the game. So one of my favorite pieces is called Speedball, that we're using everywhere. And I love that track because it allows us to cut it in so many different ways for trailers and promos and everything. So Speedball by Nana the Shrimp, which is DZA, our guy, is one of my favorites. But also like the track that he put together for the DJ, it's amazing. Like it's so bonkers. And yeah, I remember playing it for the first time, and I was like, first demo, because this is the second version of it. And I was like, dude, like you killed it. Like this is amazing. I was like kind of dancing in my chair as I was playing it, and I'm like, okay, we got something going.
Right. All right. Elizabeth, yeah, you kind of answered that one already in regards to the music. Yeah. Unless you're talking about music in general, I don't know. Let's see. Alright, so out of all of the characters you helped, like, yeah, create for the designs, which one was the one that was pretty difficult to have a final concept of?
Victus, for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Victus had a lot of iterations, and I love the final design, and I'm really happy because one of the things is that Victus is kind of a Nazi robot,
Yeah, I
and
can
and that is kind of dangerous because that's something that we want to make fun of, right? Like that's something that it's real, it's in the world, and we wanted to have like a way to make fun of it in a way that was playful and that people could connect with. So Victor started. He didn't have legs. He was like a tanky box with wheels,
So, like,
which we thought
the little vending machine in the demo, like that thing?
not quite, not quite. It was quite darker. It was kind of like a black box. It was closer to like some robots from like the 50s that were like very silly looking,
Okay.
and it was fun, and it was interesting because we were playing with it, and it played like an RC controlled car, and it was interesting. There was a lot to it that we liked gameplay wise, but it was really hard to like connect with him, like because he couldn't emote the way we wanted to feel like it was playful. It looked like a very angry box, with like some megalomaniac tendencies. So it didn't quite work, and that's when Anna like kind of like went to the woodwork, and she came up with a couple ideas, and one of them had a like microwave head, and the microwave head like it didn't work in some levels, but it was like so funny. Like we looked at it, it was microwave head, the cape was already there, and we're like, oh my god, like there's something here. So we played a little bit like with the vendor from Futurama's like limbs, right?
Mhm.
And like adding that and then changing it for a like old monitor, like like monitor from the 90s.
Yeah.
It gave a little bit of that hint of 90s that we wanted to bring to the game in every aspect that we could, but it also had that boxy, like he's a square, right? Like he's literally a square, right? Like as a mental model. So the idea of like he's the most advanced, that's at least that's what he tells everyone. He's the most advanced, but he's also like the youngest of the 1500 air, right? Like
Yeah.
so, like he would say the most advanced, and the most advanced is still like a 486 from the 90s. But at the same time, he's also the youngest, right? Like
Yeah.
so, he's the most advanced. But the truth is that he's the child. He's the youngest of like 1,500 siblings, right?
Right.
And then like when we found that like that mix of like he's a child with the cape trying to be self-important with the monitor head, and then finally the crest, the mohawk, inspired by the romance. It's like, okay, like we got everything we wanted in a very simple, very sleek design. So it was very hard, but it was very rewarding to get to that design.
Honestly, looking back at the like from like when it came to the auditions, I know like when I put mine in, I had a lot of fun with it, especially with doing the last part, like trying to really show its dominance. I'm talking about like the most last and most advanced of the 1,500 heirs of the synthetic throne. Yeah,
Hmm.
that part, like, really, like, it shows, like, he's trying to, like, put himself on the throne immediately ahead of all of his siblings who were there before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they would all disagree with that.
I mean, can you reformulate the question? Like I don't quite understand.
No, I was pointing out, like, yeah, like, the detail, like, more about, like, vintage, you did. Like, in regards to, like,
Yeah,
the
right,
dialogue from the, like, the little audition video.
right.
Yeah, like,
Gotcha.
he was, like, trying to really show his, like, be assertive and showing, like, he's trying to be
Yeah.
the actual heir, despite being the youngest, and probably the one that wouldn't get the throne.
Right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So the thing is, Victus. I mean, I love writing Victus. I think it's really fun because he's a young kid from a small town, but his small town is an empire, right?
Yeah.
So he's been always spoiled, and he doesn't know anything about anywhere else but Tekina, right?
Yeah.
So he's been told he's the chosen one, although there's like other 1,499, chosen ones, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that he comes in with this bravado, like I already won, but the truth, and this is what you learn in the game, the truth is like he's going to GodsTV to like jump ahead because he has no chance at the Silicon Throne whatsoever, right?
Right.
So if he wins GodsTV, then he'll be able to claim the Silicon Throne because he'll get a wish granted by the gods and by the show, right?
So pretty much try to cheat his way to the throne.
That's exactly what he's doing, right? So I think every single one of the 1,500 heirs will cheat their way to the throne, right? Like that's who they are, right? Like they're a little bit of a Game of Throney like
Vibes
bunch,
to it.
right? Like
Yeah.
because I mean, there's a little bit of backstory that will be in the game, but the motherboard left like a number of years ago. Let's say 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This could change. Don't quote me on this. And when the motherboard disappeared, like she brought peace to the synthetics, and she was like the one leading the charge against the organics. And when the motherboard disappeared, like she left 1,500 backup copies, right? But every backup copy is different. It's from different moments of her life,
Yeah.
right? So like these personalities with their own quirks will pop. There's gonna be more than one backup copy in the game. I'll tell you that. And the things like they all feel like they are the heir. They are the only one. They are the copy that is actually like the true copy of the motherboard.
Right.
And that's a way to like bring some like really cool science fiction to the game, but at the same time talking about like the entitlement of families, of like powerful families, and how they feel like above the rest of the people.
Right.
And that's a really fun way to have like this child noble man, like deal with like actual people and actual like characters.
Mm-hmm.
And learning what it is not to be spoiled like 100% of the time ever again, really. So like there's a lot of interesting storylines and interesting reactions and relationships for Victus to have. And there's also like another little, like, not a spoiler, not quite, But the thing is, like, he claims, it's in the casting. He claims that organic emotions mean nothing to him,
Right.
but you can tell that he's a very emotional dude.
Yeah, even when he
So
doesn't look like it, he is practically showing emotion.
right. So there's a lot of interesting stuff, like talking about AI, emotions, what makes us human, but like in a really stupid way, which I'm excited about
So I can't wait to see more of it. Alright, so
for sure.
here's another question. Ooh, Data asks, I'll add more to it. Out of all the characters, which character would you see yourself, see you could relate to the most?
The one that I can relate to the most, I mean, there's a lot of me in all of them, so that's tough. I don't know. There's a couple NPCs that I relate a lot to that you guys haven't met yet. That I feel very connected to. Funny thing is, I play the AI gen, AG. So
Oh,
for
so that was
me,
you?
that's me. Yeah.
Huh.
Welcome to the show, contender. You're late.
I didn't know that
Um,
until now.
yeah. Well, the more you know. Uh,
Yeah.
so so he's fun. He's fun for me to write because he is not me at all, but he takes after a lot of people that I've met in my time in Hollywood. So
Nice.
so it's really funny for me to play because he's so far away from me, right?
Yeah.
So so in a way I use him to put a little bit of me in every contender, right? Because I've been Lita, I've been Kinney, I've been Victus, I've been Peperici. So they all have a little bit of me. Yeah, it's not that I can relate a lot to them because I write very like they work as parts of fame and parts of the world that I hope that everybody has something to relate to, but they also have a lot of my flaws, if you want, and exaggerated in a way that it's fun for me to just elaborate on that. That you know, like we all have a little bit of like jealousy, or like we're like sometimes too emotional, or sometimes this, or sometimes that, or like you want to be spiritual and like very like a very magnanimous person, but then you realize that then you have to face decisions, and then you are not so good a person. So I think there's a lot that people can relate to, hopefully, and that's where I'm putting a little bit of like me everywhere. I don't know if that's a good answer. I hope people don't think that I'm a terrible person.
No, I don't see it.
Good.
Yeah. Alright. Elizabeth asked, which music, like, out of the ones that you've listened to from your friend, which one would you see, could see you relate to the most? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk necessarily about me, but GodsTV feels very much like a song of his called Finger Snaps. Finger Snaps is from like 2008, I think 2009. Like it's old, and it's such a good track. We used it in a bunch of things. It was in the menu, in the like the menu UI of the demo, and it's such a vibe. It has a groove. It feels funny, but you could also like listen to it for hours. It'll be awesome to hear somebody like rap on top of it, because I think it'll be such a great, like it was such a bop. So Finger Snaps is a really good one, that I love.
Alright. Alright. Data ask, do you have any favorite areas or levels in the game?
Favorite areas or levels. So we are working on the stretch goal area that we unlocked in the Kickstarter. It's called Veganus. Never big anus. Big anus will be a terrible way to say it. It's Veganus.
Yeah.
Very important. I think it's really fun, because the area in the demo, which is going to be a bigger world in the game. It's called Glitter Nova, And Glitter Nova is the, as Lita says, is the moon of dreams. But it's basically Hollywood. It's basically LA mixed with Vegas, which I always said is it's the city where the dreams go to die. So
Oh,
I
that's
really
deep.
like Glitter Nova. Yeah. I really like Glitter Nova because I can put a lot of like the things that I love and that I hate about Vegas and LA, which are especially LA is very dear to me. But I also have a lot of complaints about it. Like I can complain about it, you cannot complain about it, that kind of thing. And it's very real to me in many ways because it's a party town. Like everybody's out for something, but in veganism it's a garden world where for 100 years they've been at war between processed food and organic food. Like the organic food is native to veganism,
Yeah.
and basically they represent a lot of the spiritual. They actually like they worship Ata. Ata is one of the six gods, and the processor army, the ones that are coming from abroad, from outer space, they worship Clump. Clump is the what call it? It's like the McDonald's god, right? It's like
Yeah.
to say something, and the idea of um, like talking about something that is very real, like like society versus nature, I guess, but in a really funny way. Where like the mushrooms are the elders of the veganians, and the mushrooms have like magic powers. That's the reason why Peperishi has magic powers, because he has some traces of mushroom from veganus on him, and then he became a wizard, and like all of the stuff. There's very like lore based, but at the same time talks about like things that games don't usually talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think that's very fun. That's very fun for me because I myself, like, I've been very in touch with like native spirituality in South America, and I think there's a lot to explore there. But there's also a lot of humor talking about like how we eat, and like and how we relate to food in the modern world, and how like processed food is basically killing us slowly.
All right.
But at the same time, I have this like war between these two factions, and all that history between them is really fun to write. So that's a world where I can like really like let loose with a lot of things when I write. So I love veganism. There's two more worlds that I'm like dying to write, but veganism so far is kind of the most fun.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Ooh, well, Telesco and Elizabeth brings up a good question. Actually, all three of them actually brings up a good question. All right, I'm gonna like pretty much combine all of these. They ask, one of them to start off. One of them asked, which weapon did you enjoy using the most, and like the other one asked, the other two asked, which one is your favorite weapon in the game?
So there's a few weapons that I really love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right now in Gamescom, we've been testing out the Gochitama,
Yeah.
and the Gochitama it's just really fun. It's The Gochitama is the Tamagotchi, but we don't call it that because that has copyright issues.
Right.
So the Gochitama that we gave a golden version to all backers on Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flail, if you want, and like at the end of a rope or chain, right? So it plays in a very cool way. It's mixed of melee and range, so it has a lot of range, but the way it plays is very playful because you can also jump rope with it. Uh, it's really fun to play, and it's hard. So it's a weapon that you won't get at first. You need to play a few hours to get, but it's harder to play with, but it's really strong and really powerful. And as we progress into the making of the game, we want to make some mechanics that work with like what's in the Tamagotchi. I
Yeah.
cannot disclose too much about it, but I think it's gonna be very fun when we finally have like some Tamagotchi action in the game. And that right now is like the weapon that I'm obsessed with. It needs a little bit more work, but I'm very excited. And the other one we started prototyping as soon as we wrapped the Kickstarter is the rubber ducky floaty for Kini. So
it's pretty funny.
yeah, I'm really excited about that one because the way it's gonna work is that it can be melee and range depending on the build that you craft. So there's gonna be a several iterations. So it's not always gonna be the rubber ducky. Sometimes it's gonna be other things on Kini's waist. But I think it's gonna be really fun to play with because like the obvious thing with Kini will be like using a lot of like brute force, which we want to do, and there's already like a few attacks with the knuckles and like box gloves that are like very fun to play, but it's kind of like what you would expect. But the whole idea of having something at his waist that acts like like a crotch thrust and like also like a crotch weapon, it's just really fun. So yeah, that's the one that I'm the most excited about. Right now, my favorite is the Gochitama for sure, but I'm very excited about the Ducky Float.
Okay. Alright. Here's one thing I've been wondering, like, out of the, the three other characters, like Victus, Kenny, and I forgot her name. What was that?
It was me.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see what we look like on the stream.
Yeah. That's what, that's you see your boy Kenny.
Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry.
You see your boy Kenny there.
Yeah, I do see him.
So my question is in regards to the pizza character and that I saw in the like in the trailer as well as like in the little, and I guess in the way the audition demo, like the audition video, like what's the story behind him?
So good question. So Peperishi is part of the processor army that I was talking about, and he one day like doesn't know exactly how wakes up and has magic powers that come from these mushrooms that as he was being processed, like because the way it processed, like the processors are born is by using elements from the Veganians that have been exterminated, right? And as Veganians are processed, they take shape and they form the processor army, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a war they can only lose unless they reproduce very fast, right? And the thing is, like both like the Veganians, they are very they're very spiritual and they don't fear death, right? Because death is part of the cycle of life, blah blah blah. Yeah. While the processors live longer than the Veganians, but they only have like a few weeks of shelf life, right? Just like in the real world. Yeah. So the moment that he gets this mushroom, he becomes also kind of spiritual. He was a grunt of the processor army. He was born to be that, but then he feels like this connection to nature and this power that's coming through him. So as he kind of escapes the processor army, he joins GodsTV because he wants to live forever, right? So his reason to join GodsTV is because his mortality has taken over, right? Yeah. And his feelings for nature are very conflicted. So like as you play as Peperishi, you will be able to like see this journey towards like some kind of weird spirituality based on cheese and the crust. Right. You know, some people would say Jesus crust, and he has this very conflicted thing where, like, depending on the god that he chooses to affiliate with, yeah, he'll be more on the processor side or on the Atta, on the spiritual side. So he has these powers, and he's gonna find out what he wants to use them for. and he has all this wisdom that he doesn't quite understand. So he's a little bit like I wouldn't say bitter,
Mm-hmm.
but he has this transcendental wisdom that he doesn't understand very much. So
Yeah.
he's like trying to to teach people about you know the oneness of the food and the sentient food, and the sometimes about the ultra taste and the sacred crust. But he also is like trying to realize what it means to be alive
Right.
at the same time. So he has this like uh, spiritual shaman kind of thing, but at the same time, he's like very like pleasure driven, if you want. Um, so yeah, because all the cheese. So he's like the conflict between like the mushrooms and the grease and the cheese.
Yeah.
So he's a very conflicted character because he has to learn what it means to be alive and what it means to be also part of nature in a way.
Right.
So he's gonna be a fun one to write.
All right. And speaking of Kenny, so what inspired his design and like his story itself?
So Kini was like a pretty easy one to design because the what we always knew that we wanted to have a brute, right? Like a big guy or big girl. Like there was a couple iterations of a bigger girl,
Yeah.
and what was interesting is that okay, let's make him not the typical like stereotypical like perfect bodybuilder guy. Let's find something that feels that there's a story behind, there's a history behind. So so one thing that was key is that we looked at characters that were kind of like falling off the stage, right?
Yeah.
So so we looked at Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke was like a huge inspiration actually.
Yeah.
So so the whole point being like Kinney was once a big star, maybe even participated in GodsTV in some form,
Mm.
but then he lost his following, or like he did something unspeakable that we are not going to talk about right now.
Yeah. I'm not sure
Um,
if we did. I probably get demonetized on that one.
yeah, that made him hide his face, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
so
pretty
we
scary.
found, yeah, what's under the bag.
Yeah.
So we always thought like this idea of like somebody who almost got it at some point, but that was like coming again for stardom, right? And
Yeah.
that was like a down and out bouncer in some like dingy like beach resort somewhere in the galaxy,
Mm.
uh, that had all the potential, but also like a huge ego because his biggest fear is to die or to disappear in anonymity,
Yeah.
right? Like that will make for a great brute, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, he's not a mindless brute with no brain. He might not be the smartest tool in the shed, right? The
Mm.
sharpest tool in the shed,
Yeah.
but there's a lot to him, right? Like there's a big history behind it that he's hiding, right? And that will come out in several ways in the game. And there's a reason why he is like so overly sexual and overly egotistical and overly self-centered, because he might be hiding something. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. That's interesting. All
And
right.
by the when talking about the design, like I'll give most of the credit to Anna, because the whole point being like he's a former wrestler, or not a wrestler, but like a former TV star or like combat star in the
Yeah.
world of God's TV. So in a world of where like violence and sex is the most important, as he says in the audition,
Mm.
like the whole point of like he's gonna be like all out, like wearing the jockstrap, being like overly like voluptuous and not hiding at all, right? Like being completely exposed except his head. right? And in the game, like every skin of Kinney will have a different head,
All
because
right.
that's one of the things he's trying to pursue, is to have a head that he can be proud of again. And I'll leave it
Right.
at that.
Like trying to find the perfect head.
A little bit.
Okay. Alright, so here's another thing I've been wondering about. Is the female character, I still forgot her name.
Lita.
Yeah. So what's the story behind her? As well as her design?
Right. So Lita is the ninja pop star, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to have our own like Ryu, right? Like from Street Fighter, right? Like the character that is like, it's easier to connect with at a like just like physical level, I guess. Meaning like she's the most human. She's not human. She's kind of a tiefling, and the whole point being like she's gonna be the character from Glitter Nova. So she's gonna be the one who knows the most about what GodsTV is about, right? Because she's been raised since really young, since she was a baby, to become a pop star, right?
Yeah.
So she encapsulates a lot of what the whole theme of fame or fame is fate means, which is that she's been raised to be this, right? So she knows everything about Gods TV former contestants. She knows everything about what you need to do to be popular, right? And at the same time, she's very very desperate to stand out, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why like her base skin is, I wouldn't say it's generic, because I still like, I really love that skin, but the whole point being like the base skin is going to be more less standout, right?
Yeah.
And then she's going to have some of the crazier skins, because she is going to feel like when she has the god skins, she's going to feel more like Lady Gaga turning into like this pop star, right? Or like Bjork, or like Grimes, or other pop stars that inspire us, because a lot of what God's TV is about like there's a face that you put on camera and the reality behind the scenes, right? Like, so everything that happens on the backstage is more of the reality of what you are, right? That's why she, like, if you play the demo, like when she's playing, like she's like more upbeat and kind of like trying to show off all the time, which is something that will evolve in the game. But at the same time, in the backstage, she's more bitchy, and she's more like more knowledgeable about what it takes to be a pop star, while the rest are more clueless, right? And there's an NPC that will come later called Mrs. Lola, that is going to be very very interesting. It's going to have a very strong relationship with Lita, and those two characters will show you a lot of what the lore and what God's TV as a show is about. And also they know the arts of star power, which is like the power that you use when you are in run. We'll talk more about it in the future. They know more about the arts of star power, and I'll leave it at that. Then that's why she is the ninja pop star, and kind of like the first character you will play as in the game before you unlock the rest.
Which I saw during the demo itself.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here's an interesting question. I'm wondering, like, with the development you guys have going on for it, especially with the Kickstarter and whatnot, when do you guys expect to see the game be fully released for people to play on this, like Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo?
Yeah, the plan right now is to have an early access release in spring, late spring, which is not too far away, and that'll be Steam only, right? So depending on a few things that are happening behind the scenes of our own backstage, I guess, there's a window between late next year, like Q3 next year, and Q1, Q2, 2027. But again, it'll be playable for a long time before then on Steam.
Nice. So people will be able to play it before the other systems. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be something for me to look forward to because I actually do want to play the full game when it comes out. After playing the demo, it already has me interested, and hearing more about it during this interview definitely has me curious, especially with the story itself. Which actually, that makes me wonder, like, were there other possible concept and story concepts that you guys had for the game before the finalized one that you have now? Like, were there going to be different outcomes?
Right. There will be different outcomes, and there'll be choices. There'll be choices about things. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but like as you guys know, there's already romance options, as you know. So there'll be a few different things that will like change the ending. I don't know how many endings there are gonna be. I don't know how meaningfully different they will be yet. That's something that we'll know next year.
All right.
But it's always been pretty set on a story of like fame, right? So what's very important to GodsTV and what has changed a little bit maybe over the last couple of years that we've been working on it is the characters, right? Like so GodsTV is very much about the characters, and the story is very much the story of these characters, right?
Yeah.
So it has become a little more cosmic, I guess. Like for a while, like the gods were not as important story-wise, so the gods are having a little more of an importance now, and the way the worlds like are populated by people who worship the gods and all that stuff, that has been like more or less new because we want the gods to be more present in storylines and decisions. And we hope that down the line that people will be like attached to some gods more than others. That's something that we're excited about exploring story wise. But the characters have been pretty set for almost 2 years now, and it's just about like how they relate to each other that has been like not changing but growing, right? Like the relations between them. There'll be relationships between them that you will unlock in the game that are very exciting and are going to be surprising.
Right. Since you did say that, like, it would actually, like, depending on, I guess, your choices, like, the relationships you have with each of the characters may change it up in a way.
Yes. There'll also be like a number of NPCs that, for example, I'm just going to give an example. I'm not going to talk about any particular NPC, but like as you grow your fame in the backstage, there'll be NPCs that don't even want to talk to you. And then once you get to a certain level of fame, they'll be like, hey, that wasn't bad, right? And then over time, those relationships can grow into other things. So your level of fame will determine how people react to you, even the other contenders. Your level of fame will also be the reason why like you unlock new contenders, right? Like because you'll start as Lita, and the rest will be NPCs until you unlock them through your fame.
Now thinking about it, like I've been wondering, like, does the game have like an actual, like a main protagonist in there? Like, who would be the main protagonist?
No, they are a crew.
Okay.
Like over time, yeah. As you play and over time, they are like we want them to feel like rivals at first because they're rivals by nature.
Yeah.
But there will be a gang of friends by the end of the game. Friends, you know what I mean? Like, could you say that like I don't know, like Rick and Morty are they friends?
Well, they're family members.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, they're all family members. Are they friends? No, they're family, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that by the end of like Act 2 of the game, you could say they are a little bit of a family. Not necessarily friends, but a family.
Okay, they all have some. They all have something they want to achieve. All right. Let's get in a few more questions. Yeah, this one's and my turns. My Q&As are always an hour, and sometimes in a little early. All right. Actually, did before second before the title GodsTV, did you have any other names that you guys had planned on giving the game before sticking with the one you have now?
Yes, I mean it was it was called Project Good Stuff for a while. It had actually you can find probably Project Good Stuff somewhere in the game. So that was there for a second, or for a while actually, and very like at the before even any of the characters was created, we had a it's funny to think about this, but we created a game called Melbits years ago.
Right.
And originally when we were talking about this content creator thing, like we wanted to create something that felt like a game show with Melbits, right? So we called it Melbits Metaverse, which has nothing to do with what GodsTV is today, but the origin of the project was Melbits Metaverse for a while. Um, and then when we started working with Anna and creating the characters, the main contenders, that's when like we came up with the idea of the gods, and then it became very obvious that gods had to do something with the title, and Gods TV was like the was an easy way to just put it all together.
It makes sense. Because it's like the guys watching TV itself, like watching them make the decision, make their go down the path they choose to go through to achieve their dreams and goals.
That's right. Yeah, there's a little bit of also like the Wizard of Oz, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
contenders are like kind of like the characters in the Wizard of Oz,
Yeah,
trying to get to the wizard to get their wish fulfilled,
yeah.
right? So the gods are the wizard, and the contenders are Dorothy and the rest, and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow.
The only difference is like they're actually it's an actual god compared to like the Wizard of Oz if you watched Wicked.
That's right. Although, are the gods really gods?
Ooh. Now that's some good question right there. But I'm not gonna ask because I want to go through myself to find out myself. That definitely is a
That's right.
good. That definitely is a good Easter egg right there. All right.
I mean, they are gods, but maybe not exactly the kind of god that you'll think of.
Alright. I guess there are different types of gods. Ones that you wouldn't expect it to be like good ones or bad ones. Or
Yeah,
even in between.
yeah. They're like this is actually like an Easter egg. I played a lot of Elden Ring, and I got a lot of ideas from Elden Ring for the game. You will never guess it, and you will never see it if I don't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of Elden Ring in the way I'm writing it.
Nice. Alright. Since you also, actually, since you brought up the skins, out of all of the custom alternate skins that you guys created for each one, which one was the one that you guys had the most fun with out of all of them?
So on one end, like the skins are super fun for Anna to do and for us to work on,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things that we knew early on is that like our characters are really cool, right?
Yeah.
But if you're stuck with one personality or one
Default
style,
skin, yeah.
right? You don't have a lot to express yourself in the game. So like I really like the pin skins, and there's more coming to the game, but like the pin skins are like really, it changes the game. It makes the game like more like it makes it darker, right?
Yeah.
And she's darker, and I think that's something that it's fun because the world is so bright, but the themes are very dark, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes having a character that's actually dark about it
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's fun. It's fun because it fits very well in some environments, and it fits nothing at all in veganus, for example.
Yeah.
So it's a good contrast because you have both worlds. Also, like with the guest star skins, like
Mhm.
we gave a lot of freedom to the artist. So in particular, it was really fun to work with Mache, Dirty Mache
Yeah.
on Twitter, because uh, he has this very like exaggerated, voluptuous, sexy way to do his drawings, and just seeing him like see Kinney as something like more attached to our world with
Yeah.
the Mexican wrestler thing.
Mhm.
It was really fun because like we are always trying to make something very unique and very Gods TV that doesn't remind you of other games. But when somebody brings something so real from the real world to to the actual Gods TV madness,
Yeah.
it's really fun. It just feels so well. Like it doesn't feel out of place. It feels like it belongs. But
Yeah.
it's because Mexican wrestlers are so fucking wacky already. So that's something really fun. Like bringing something from the real world and make it so bizarre, or fitting so well with the bizarre is really fun.
Nice. Honestly, seeing the custom like skins, it'll keep people actually interested because it's something that they can unlock during the time they're playing the game.
Right.
Instead of just like going through it, just playing through the entire game and just being stuck in the default. It gives them a challenge to play through the story, but also unlocking skins to try out during the and continue playing the game while it being in those skins.
Right. Yeah. Also, the skins will have also like gameplay perks, right? They're not a pay to win or anything like that. They're not like this skin is incredible and this skin is shit. It's just like it shapes the way you play the game. So like it gives you a little boost here or there
Yeah,
that makes, for example, the swimsuit skins. Uh, they obviously you receive more damage because you are like very unprotected,
right.
but they also like give you more fame. So like so when you're using the swimsuit skins, your star power grows faster, so you go viral faster, which is a mechanic that was not in the demo, but it's something that's going to be really fun.
Right.
And
It sounds
as
look
you
forward
as
to.
you yeah, so as you play more flashy,
Mm-hmm.
you get stronger for a period of time when you go viral, right?
Yeah.
So like those skins are flashy in on themselves, right? So that's a fun way to play with, like, oh, do I want to be like more vulnerable, but I get more famous, like, and stronger faster,
Mm-hmm.
or do I want to go with something that is like I get to be faster, but I have other downsides. So there's something for everyone in the skins.
Not gonna lie, when I saw the swimsuit skins, I found Victor's looking funny just to do the role. It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
It is. Alright. Yeah, I got no more questions, especially ones that won't go into spoilers. Because even I still want to be able to play through it without too much spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and getting to hear more about the game. You guys can check it out. I will be adding the link. Is the Kickstarter still going? Because I may add that to the description as well.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kickstarter is going. We have. I mean, the Kickstarter is closed, so a lot of the rewards are not available anymore. I'm sorry, but late pledges are on. So if you are late to the Kickstarter game, you still can get a lot of the rewards. It's a little more expensive than during the Kickstarter because we wanna value the people who are there first.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a lot of really interesting exclusive goodies that you can only get on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And also, we are live on Steam, so the demo is available to play. We're gonna update the demo in the next few months, and
I'll be sure to
also
put
like
that
it's
in the
available for,
description as well. That way you guys can check it
please,
out.
and it's available for wishlists, and wishlists help a lot. So please wishlist the game. It'd be very important to the team.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to say before we end it off?
Thank you for having me, and I hope I hope we can do this again, and everybody loves the game.
Maybe I'll have you back on whenever there's more to it, like
Sure.
later on.
Amazing.
Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. I am still working on the next guest, so hope you guys will look forward to it. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Take care.
Take care.